Hey everybody, Richard here with CRG Games, and I have an Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set booster box here. I've already gone through and pre-opened everything. We got some stuff to talk about too. Before I begin, I am going to be cracking a craft beer. I've got Dragon's Milk Triple Mash. It is 17.3% alcohol, 2022 release. It's an aged stout on bourbon barrels, and these are really good. So let me crack that first, because as you know, I really like craft beer. Now this is strong. 17.3% makes me sleepy. I don't drink a ton of beer, but when I do, it's usually something, as you can see, Canadian breakfast stout. If you've had this stout, it's my all-time favorite, best one in the world, I think. Man, that's good. Canadian breakfast stout's actually out of production. And it's aged in maple syrup barrels. Now I have like four packs left. Can't bring myself to drink them because I know once they're gone, they're gone. And I can't sell them because I don't have a license to sell alcohol. So I will open them eventually for special events, special occasions, occurrences. Aged stouts that are a high ABV don't generally go bad. They can lose their flavor profile and they kind of mellow out over time, but overall they don't really go bad or anything. Also, tonight we had our store championship, and I did win. Now, I've pretty much always said that I'm not that great at drafting, and I'm not. But when I saw that Dark Confidant was the promo, I did my due diligence. I looked at all the draft archetypes, figured out what I wanted to play, and I stuck to it tooth and nail. I passed on, good rares and things like that because I really wanted to win this. It came down to the very last match between me and my best friend Jason, and it was hard fought. We went 3 games. He lost one or won one, and I won 2. But I'm super excited about this. I'm going to get him one of these as well because he really wanted it. So I'm going to buy one on the open market. If you have one, email me, crggamesllc@gmail.com. I'm interested. I want to, it's not for me, it's for my buddy, my best friend. So I'm going to give that to him. And then the other promos are Archmage's Charm, great card, and a non-foil Flame Slash. And I've got this Soul Ring. You get this Soul Ring for spending $50 or more in a single transaction at your LGS. I did purchase a case of Double Masters 2022 draft boosters. I will be opening those next week. I'm not actually going to hold them because I still foresee supply being on the market for a little while. I don't think it's going to dry up just yet. There's talk about the 2 waves. It's 1 release, multiple waves. That's generally for collector boxes. I don't know if that applies to draft boxes. There seems to be a good bit on the market on TCG Player. So we'll see. So let's get well, they're already cracked. So let's get looking at these. Hopefully we can get, is it not Goldspan Dragon? It's the green one. I don't know why I can't think of it off the top of my head here. We got a Drizzt Do'Urden. So that's neat, I suppose. We'll put that in the old rares bin there, and a Meteor Swarm. Venerated Teacher. So this is actually from Rise of the Eldrazi. That's pretty cool. And also I wanted to bring up, been talking to some people via email, and one of the questions I got, and I haven't thought about this a whole lot, is if somebody wanted to support my channel, what ways can they do that? And typically, content creators, and I find it weird to call myself a content creator. I never really thought that would be a title that I would apply to myself. But I guess technically I'm creating content. They do like Patreon or box battles and things like that. I don't have really any interest in those. I find it, there's a lot of Patreons out there, and they all promise something, some kind of value that you're going to get. Not to say that, people don't follow through on that and provide value. I just don't think I could provide any extra value than I am now. And I wouldn't want to lock anything behind a paywall anyways, because I'm not really a big Patreon kind of person. If I want to support someone, I just buy from them. You know, if they make a product or something like that, I just buy it. You know, I want to support them that way. So if somebody were to want to support, you know, my channel or what I do or anything like that, I don't necessarily need it. I do work a full-time job still, although at some point I'd like to do this full-time and I may need it. If you would like to support, the best way to do that is to simply shop from my TCG Player Pro Store. So the cool thing about the Pro Store is sellers don't pay commission fees. All you pay is a 2.5% plus 30-cent transaction fee. The catch is it's up to you to drive the traffic to your site, and that's completely fair. If you're not on the marketplace and your stuff isn't visible and it sells, why would a TCG get a commission, right? So you have to drive the traffic, which is fine. I do have it up. All of my current inventory is available on my store. And typically, I price everything on my store 3 to 5% below market value or TCG low. The reason being is because I'm not paying, on average, for me at least, 14 to 20% commission. I just pass those savings on to everybody else. And I get to keep a little bit more in my pocket that I can reinvest into, product and stuff. So if you got any, hey, Sorcerer class, that's a good one. If you got any, want or desire to support what I do, there's not going to be any Patreon or anything like that. Just consider looking at my store when you're next looking. Oh, oh my gosh! Here, if next time you're looking for cards, take a stroll through my my CRG, crggames.tcgplayerpro.com. Take a look at that store, bookmark it or whatever. Just browse it. If you find something great, if you don't, no hard feelings. I'm going to keep listing inventory, so it always changes. That's the best way to support what I do if you find what I'm doing useful. I saw that sticking out there, this old gnawbone, and I was like, no freaking way. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. However, I do see there's like a line across there. It's very, very light. It doesn't look like a roller line. I'm not sure what it is. That's the best hit in this set, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is over $50 or $60, so we'll see. Just so everybody knows, I did pick this box up on eBay, and I paid $83.99 for it, which I thought was a great price. This product is out of print as far as I know, so I wouldn't expect that price to be around, forever, right? It's going to eventually run out of supply. Price is going to go up, based on demand. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is, how do you find deals on this stuff? And the real answer to that is just time, due diligence, scouring the internet. What I would recommend is, if you're trying to find boxes cheap, go to eBay, go to Amazon, go to LGS stores. A lot of LGSs have their own online presence. And if they're looking to blow out some inventory, a lot of times you can find it on the cheaper side. Steel City Games, and I'm not sponsored by any of these people at all. I am just referring to stores that I look at when I'm buying products. Steel City Games, Dave and Adam's Card World, the Collector Store. Undoubtedly, some of these will be familiar to you. Generally, every day I hop on and I look and see, what they're selling, what prices are selling, what are they trying to move. Hey, Inferno the Star Mounts, that's a good one, I think. And then I, make my buying decisions based on that. What do they have? And typically, I'll look for cases, because generally a case is going to give you the best return for your dollar. Now, you should still support your LGS. Hey, Full Deadly Dispute. The Double Master stuff I bought through my LGS. All those collector boxes I bought through my LGS. So you should still always support your LGS when possible. If they can get you a deal, or they can, make it worth your while, or, just get you the product that you want, you should probably go to them. You should go to them first. And, if you got to pay $20 more for a box, that really doesn't matter. Honestly, if it's something you're going to be holding for 18 to 24 months, $20 does not matter. If you're going to be cracking it, and your sole purpose for cracking that box is, I have to get the most money for my dollar out of that box. One, the price you pay doesn't determine that. Ooh, fancy barbarian class. Because you never know what you're going to get out of that box. But if the idea is just to keep your costs as low as possible, then yes, it does matter. So support your LGS first, and then go online, just browse around, see what you can find. And a lot of those are LGSs, so I don't really feel bad if I'm buying from an LGS that has, a good deal going on. And then, of course, I search eBay, because a lot of LGSs and small stores sell on eBay too. So I haven't seen this before. Two of the exact same uncommon right now next to each other. That is, as far as I know, the first time I've seen that. A Lolth, the Spider Queen, and a Nadar, Selfless Spirit, a Paladin, sorry. This Lolth, look at the cut on that. The bottom doesn't actually look all that bad, but the top, it is way up there. Still okay. Also, to follow up on the Kozilek that I got from the Double Masters box. So I checked WotC's guidelines for damaged cards and reimbursement, all that stuff. That card does not meet the minimum requirements for a damaged card. It didn't have like bent corners. It wasn't obviously scratched or damaged or creased or any of that kind of stuff. It didn't have, like actual like printing errors. So I just left it go, rather than, go through that whole process, send the card in, and then just have them, tell me, yeah, it's not really damaged. Maybe they give me a consolation or something like that. And to be honest, I was a little bit, when I first saw that card, I wasn't sure if I would even really classify it as damaged, because, strange to say, it's not really all that much out of the ordinary. It's not like you don't see that kind of often. And when I said that, it's I kind of, I guess, alluded to it being WotC's fault. Technically, it's not. It's the printer's fault, because WotC isn't actually printing the cards. The printer is, Cardamundi, for example. They're the ones printing the cards. This is actually kind of neat. Biomass mutation from Gatecrash. And I love Gatecrash. I've got a case of that still. I don't really plan on opening it. I think I'm just going to keep that sealed for basically forever. Like this card here has got a little bit of a bent corner. Another Deadly Dispute. Power Word Kill. I mean, this is already a good pack right here. Half Elf Monk, Hall of the Storm Giants. We'll take it. And Storm Entity. So in Future Sight, they I guess tested out these these new borders, and from what I understand, a lot of people were thinking like this was going to be the future of Magic. They were going to have these I think kind of fancy borders. I like them. I guess they didn't really catch on, but the foil versions of these are absolutely amazing, and I own a few. I think over time, as long as they don't actually reprint the cards in a set with that border, I think they'll probably maintain a fair share of their value over time. Yeah, since I paid $83 for this box, this is already, I've already returned that for sure. Unexpected Windfall. This has lost a little bit of its ground. This was about 75 cents, but I think it's dropped down to about 50 cents. Still a great price for a common, though. Warlock class. Bard class. Take that. Sphere of Annihilation. We'll take that. And ooh, what's this? Unbound Flourishing from, that's Modern Horizons. Whenever you cast a permanent spell with mana cost that contains X, double the value of X. Whenever you cast this resource spell activating ability, that's supposed to make us copy this. That's pretty neat. I don't know if that's worth anything. I mean, it seems pretty good, and it's an enchantment, so it stays on the board, and it's a mythic. So, I mean, there's a good chance that might be worth something there. But holy cow, this daggone old Gnawbone! I have never pulled a extended art or borderless old Gnawbone yet, foil. So I'm excited about that. That is going to be listed on the website, although I really would like to keep that for myself. These sleeves can be a little bit picky sometimes. Man, old Gnawbone. Beautiful. Let's get up close there. WotC still does a really good job at the foiling. The foiling in most sets is really smooth, and if you put it in the light, you can see that the texture is very homogeneous there. In Double Masters 2022, what I've noticed is a lot of the foils have these little dots where what I'm assuming is the ink, when it sprays out of the jet, it needs to be atomized to a... Oh, no, I take that back, because it's not an inkjet, it's a roller. So maybe the rollers aren't clean and there's dust on them, and then the dust gets under the ink layer. It could also be a product of the cardboard itself having defects, which are leaving these little tiny bumps. I really don't know. I'm just speculating here, but I've noticed it. Other people have noticed it. I've seen it on Reddit. People have talked about it in person, and it's kind of just a feature of the set, really, I suppose. So tomorrow, down at the LGS, we're having a Khans of Tarkir draft. I'm kind of holding off on those a little bit because a lot of people are, out with their family on Saturdays, and they're just enjoying the summer. So the last couple weeks, we've only had a couple people there. We're still drafted, but I want to make sure that if we're drafting, we've got full groups, everybody gets the full experience, and we have a good pod there. So I'm probably going to be holding off on that just a little bit until maybe the fall. Just give it a couple months, build up some boxes. I've got about 30 or 40 boxes right now of cards that I've got for draft inventory and for sale inventory. So tomorrow, Khans of Tarkir, if you happen to be in the Denison, Ohio area, feel free to stop in. I'd love to have you just for a couple hours. Starts at 1 p.m. I know it's a long shot, but all right, so last thing, again, if you want to support what I do here, I'm happy to, to take any support I can get. And the best way to do that, crggames.tcgplayerpro.com. The link is in every one of my videos. If you're looking for singles or if you're looking for sealed, because I do put sealed stuff in there as well, just browse through, stop in. I price everything below TCG Marketplace or below my marketplace price, so everything is competitive. If it's not, I'll fix it. I'm okay with that. Sometimes the mass price can be a little bit wonky when it's pulling prices from the market, so you got to watch out for that. But I don't pay commission fees on that. I just have to drive the traffic. So I'd love if you stop by, take a look. If you see any cards, feel free to make a purchase, and that's the best way to help me out. So next week, Double Masters 2022 draft case. Would not recommend opening them, but I've got them at a good enough price to where I believe I can still make money while doing this. And I want to try to do a financial analysis. It's going to take a little bit because there's a lot of different variants in the cards, so bear with me on that. But until next time, catch you guys later.